This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
Yes, there was a promise that I didn't see. There was a promise. Okay, right. It happens that you promise and things happen. Bafethu bekudlala iPirates phela. Mina nje ngivele ngavuka ekseni ngayela endaweni zami, obviously not knowing that we are supposed to work. So it is all me.
Yo, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just was anticipating to come here and see you so much that I forgot that Saturdays are tricky.
Tricky, more especially if team thandwa kakhulu njengale yami idlala. Team yabafundisi. Team yabantu abathandwa.
I should have just not said Saturday. I should have just said Sunday, or rather not put a date at all and just. But then maybe it was a way of also committing. Yabo?
Yeah,
committing and doing the right thing and not avoiding not tying myself to a promise. So I had to show up. I failed to show up on Saturday, but now we are here on Sunday evening.
Umlambo design ukuthi down ngePirates cha bafethu cha. Asisho ukuthi sidala ngiyasho mina ukuthi team engiyisupportayo. It's not a secret ukuthi ngiyisupporta le team. I mean nawe vumelekile ukuthi ungasho ukuthi cha usupporta yiphi team. Akusile icala lelo. We love these teams when Mlambo. We love these teams through thick and thin. Good and bad times. Asinankinga nje sila singamabhakaniya singimpofana ngabe impofana uyi Sundowns masanda one mangabe Sunda one and many more. Kodwa ke yeah, it has been a long weekend. Listen to me. When it comes to football, mixed emotions. I was thrashed on Thursday by Atletico with Barcelona. Thrashed 4-0. Very sad. I wanted to take Hansi Flick and shake him because I don't understand this high line all the time. It's high line. Yeah. So that's it. I was even, I like at some point my kid wanted to come and play. I couldn't play. It was sad. It's sad when you lose like that, man. It reminded me of when we lost against Bayern Munich. I think it was 8-1, if I'm not mistaken. Those were sad days, man. Those were sad days. So 4-0 first half. 4-0 first half. I was like, coming back second half, they're probably going to come with more. Because I don't understand these coaches and being stubborn about the system that does not work sometimes. You are playing against faster players. You still want to play high line. Your defenders are like snails. They are slow. But you still play with high line. High line. For what? I mean, you can always play total football, counter-taking football, counter-pressing football, even if you don't play high line. Yes, you need a bit of it, but must have timing. I mean, you must have timing. You can't just push to the center. And you're playing against Bo Alvarez. You're playing against this Nigerian guy Atletico just bought. There is Simeon, the child of the coach. They were fast, those people. They were fast. It's like, wow. Yeah, but yeah, football is like that. I mean, then we come Sunday, it happened that Pirate plays, and kwesikhamamenzela vele ayikunzima ukuthi ungawina lapha kwi-arena. Then they won. It's mixed feelings, and then you go, hey, Griezmann grilled us, man. Griezmann dealt with us. I was so sad, man. We bought that thing, it didn't work that side, and then we took him back. Now he's haunting us. Very sad days, man. Very sad days. But yeah, Kaizer Chiefs also was playing Comfort. Unfortunately, they lost. Nothing unexpected from my side, guys. I think I told them, the friends that I have, friends that we talk about, when I told them, you're going to Cairo, you probably would need more luck. Yeah, but even Zamalek was not that good, I mean, I think Kaizer Chiefs were not ready to win that game. They were not perfect. I watched the whole game. It was not a wow team, but they managed to score goals. There's this one Brazilian guy who's really good. He scored the first goal. He's good, Nashem. He's good. He reminded me of Ribeiro. He's too relaxed, and he's playing with flair. You can even tell the shots, tuck the shots inside like there. You could see this one is not from Egypt. So yeah, everything was good. And Sundowns also, they won, they qualified. We are happy. I'm happy Sundowns qualified personally for many reasons. The first one being that I'm a South African and we don't have that much beef with Sundowns. There's no beef with Sundowns that much. It only happens when we're playing and then we're done with it. Number two, they've got something to keep them occupied as far as the league is concerned. So that gives us a chance to win the league. That's why I was happy when Sundowns won. But Kaizer Chiefs, I don't know. I'll tell you my views on whether I wanted Kaizer Chiefs to win or not later. We'll need to sit down and talk about it. Yeah, Emil, how are you on your side?
I'm okay. See, you're very excited about soccer here. It seems like there's a lot that has been happening.
Oh man, I came across one person who also is part of this channel. Said, "Come man, let's have a chat about soccer in this channel. Maybe on Sundays like this, Saturdays like that. Just have a session where we are out of Senzo's case. We just deal with the sports part of
Most
it.
definitely.
It's always good.
necessity.
It's always good.
It's just that
Yeah, not for you. No beefs. Yeah. Yeah, asiqhubeke bafethu, asiqhubeke. Quiet ezweni shame. Kumnandi, quiet. There's peace, very much peace that you can ever look for in South Africa when it comes to football. Peaceful. Ake siqhubeke sizwe ukuthi kuhambe kanjani la kusenzo.
Yeah, Friday, Uramusipili continued with the leading evidence in chief of Bongani Danzi, accused number 2. And weird things were happening. Weird things are happening in that court. Sometimes they happen by surprise.
Yeah.
Sometimes they happen, one would say, coincidentally. Sometimes we're just, you cannot have quite a smooth way, something will just happen randomly that you least expect, and you're like, and then it hits you later. Are you telling me that the court adjourned because the interpreter has an event to attend to?
Yes.
Is that what just happened? It hits you like a couple of hours after watching the proceedings. Look,
I don't have a beef with any of the workers having a moment. I also recently had a team building. Yeah. It is okay to have such things. You see where I have a problem with that court. Why I would have a problem with that court. We're talking about fun things that you can live without. Events. There was a time when Mngomezulu was sick.
Was ill.
Really sick, and the court was doing everything to keep him there. In the same court that said, I cannot hold people. This is where I have a problem. You would expect that court that was very cold to Mngomezulu, you would expect that court to actually ignore the part of going to certain events. You would expect the court to give the same treatment to Lokozana, Jonas. It is very
we
sad.
can push. In fact, we don't even know when that event was happening, the time slot.
Yes.
For all we know, it could have been happening at around 3 p.m. or it could have been happening around 6 p.m. We don't know. But what we know is that immediately after the short adjournment, court had to adjourn. And that was to give Jonas time to prepare for the event and to go to that event. It's important because it's the constitutional court and they cannot hold Ubabu Jonas. He has to go to that event as a senior interpreter there at the North Gauteng High Court.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't know what to say. Because I might sound as if I'm very selfish, but honestly, if you look at how Mgomezulu was treated,
how unfair Mgomezulu was treated when he was sick, when he wasn't feeling well, when he had to drag himself to that court sick.
The judge even had such words. If we have to drag you to court,
yes, if we have to drag you, we are going to drag you. And then even going as far as throwing shade at the doctor, wanting to know the details of his sickness. There was just a lot of antagonizing that he was doing to Mgomezulu at a time where he was ill. But someone has an event and it's like,
you give in like that. And you kind of sounded like you were not informed in advance.
Yes, because usually when something like this is about to happen, it doesn't happen the way that it happened on Friday.
There will be such reminders as to say there's going to be a short court. Even on Friday, it was supposed to happen on Monday or something like that. But it never happened like that. It is sad, man, considering how we treated Mgomezulu in the very same court. And I would always highlight things like that. I don't have any problem with being given a chance of being away from work if it is given properly, if it is given to everyone else, even if they are sick.
Yes.
Because we're talking about different excuses here. Someone is sick, someone's life was on the line. And eventually it proved that the person was really sick because the person is no more now. And you had words, you had like 120 words that you had that were sort of mean, if you ask me. That is where I have a problem. But okay, enough said about you, Jonas. You hope you understand. You enjoyed your event. Now let's come back to what happened.
Well, Advocate Nisi asked or requested Novara Masipili to address the court. Well, he said it's not a big issue, though with the leave of the court, he just wanted to update the record. And he said he's not snitching on anyone. The court would recall that I think it's almost 2 to 3 weeks ago when he formally put on record and requested information with regard to the movement of the motor vehicles that was used by Constable Zungu on the 26th of October 2014. Allegedly when he drove from Tembisa to Johannesburg and then ultimately ended up at Vosloorus. And he said that they haven't received any response from the state. And he said, I just wanted to update the record. Well, the judge asked, but has he made the request, Mr. Baloyi? And Baloyi got up and said, I think we indicated that we did not have such a record. The car was not fitted with AVL. Baloyi wants the entire South Africa, you guys, to believe that a whole constable was roaming around with a state vehicle that was not fitted with AVL, okay? He wants us to believe that.
Yeah, they definitely want us to believe that.
And then the judge said, so that's the response of the state. And Mnisi said, we don't have that. But that is the state's response. Well, then it is fine. Without even any formal writing, it's fine. He's supposed to produce formal writing.
And papers supporting that.
Supporting his statement that the vehicle indeed had no AVL. and that is not coming through. We're supposed to take his word for it. We're supposed to take it. Oh, it's Advocate Baloyi. He's saying there was no AVL. There was no AVL.
It is okay.
It's okay. You know, he didn't even try to look for it because, you know, had he done so, he would have come back with something to support his claim that the car indeed was not fitted with AVL.
And then you have some douchebags that are given platform on what do you call it, on these mainstream medias, using those mainstream medias for their propaganda. And using some so-called analysts. I'm not going to call people's name, but you listen to that.
I don't listen to the other channel.
But it just disturbs me. I know
it's gaslighting.
It is gaslighting. So we don't know whether it's also paid, whether it's not paid. We don't know.
Smells like it.
But I'm not going to call people's name. I'm not gonna say.
And I don't watch, guys.
Yeah.
I don't, because it's upsetting.
So, like, honestly speaking, even those so-called analysts, they've lost my respect. I'm never gonna listen to them.
The thing about them is that he compiles everything and produces a show, right?
Yeah.
I doubt that the people that he calls there are actually watching the proceedings because they are busy doing other things.
Oh, no, but I mean, you cannot go to mainstream media without having prepared for what you were called for.
I don't think they watch the case. That's all I'm gonna say. The people that are
they definitely don't watch the case, in my opinion, because they are waiting for these calls, and that's how they make their back. Some of them, but disgusting as it is. I mean, you can tell.
They're briefed before they even start shooting. They are briefed that this is the direction that we are going at. This is the narrative that we want.
Yeah, it seems like that. It seems like they are briefed.
So it's
they are
not
told
something
this is the narrative that we are going at.
I would say it's completely in their control. And remember, analysts, when they are called on mainstream, they do get a check. So, you know, if you're gonna come in there and just go left, they're not gonna call you again next time.
Like this guy who's this guy? The UJ guy? Elton. Elton did not take. Elton doesn't play around.
So they're not gonna call you because you'll even see it in the journalist's reaction or the reporter's reaction that actually you're not going where
you're not going where. We told you, Chief. What's going on now? Why are you doing that on us? Yeah, but Elton is not getting a lot of calls now. I haven't seen him for how long?
And he's the one who actually watches the proceedings.
Yes.
They don't watch. You can even tell with how they are communicating. Totally briefing, totally script. You know what kills me are those polls. Is it polls?
So let's not call people, because next thing we'll be calling people's name, but icon.
The polls,
if you were given something, I would say, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I will never forget this. I will never forget this torture. I will never forget it. For as long as I'm reporting on Senzo's case, I will never forget how
you go to court, you sit down, you even talk to some of the defense lawyers. You know, I saw him at some point, or her.
And then
I saw him or her
them.
talking to.
And then, hi, Mr. Mnisi, hi. And then you come back and you
bullshit them.
You slap.
Now I don't understand why they're even in talking to him.
Maybe they don't watch.
This guy is, or this lady, or this guy is just out of line.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. I exited the building last year, and I doubt I'm gonna ever go to that. In fact, I always press not interested when I see.
I'm not gonna call people's names, and I don't want people to call people's names, but I call.
I'm gonna be very disturbed and then not know what to do about what I'm seeing. So I just leave it alone.
Icon.
But people need to watch the case for themselves and not rely on some reporters, because hey, you will find yourself
African
believing
reporters.
false information. That's what I'm learning now. It's not so easy even to report. I remember when we started here, I used to report, you know. But now it's not easy, because I'm thinking, oh my God, what if they are lying? How am I gonna come back? How am I gonna come back? Because this thing is very wrong. When you've slandered a person, you've ruined a person, you've like said everything that you can say, gave your opinion, and then a couple of months down the line, or even a couple of weeks, you find that hey, whatever was written there was rubbish. You can't even retract. The person that even wrote the rubbish doesn't even retract. You know, so everything you have to take it with a pinch of salt now. I don't really believe reporters like that. I'm just like, okay, let me consume and keep my mind open. Not consume everything wholly as if it's gospel truth.
Yeah,
Because
that's the
you
way it
never
is,
know.
man. That's the way it is.
You never know. You'll be made a liar and a slanderer and a gossip. What is it called? A gossip monger.
Yeah.
Unaware, because you're busy chasing a story or chasing stories. So now I'm just like, let me take my time. Let me see the events as they unfold.
Yeah, no. Enough said about the mainstream medias.
I got the Shem. I won't lie, Mr. Anonymous. The last time I watched my heart, my BP, I was like, this is not right. I don't know what it is. Doesn't feel right. It has to stop at some point. Yeah, Gage, leave it. If you have nothing constructive to bring to the table, then just leave it alone. Because some of us are never going to forget this. Well, Ramasipili continued with his cross-examination, and he started by thanking the court for the indulgence. Remember, on Thursday, the statements were not clear. He could not really read Ms. Cronier's statement. So the handwriting, he said it was not legible, right? So he wanted to go and look at the record and then compare to what was written in the statement. Remember, Ms. Grenier read the statement into the record herself in full when she testified. So he continued reading the alleged confession that Ms. Grenier took from Danzi, and paragraph 1B read, he is also informed that if necessary, he will be afforded protection against any irregularities, and that I will, as soon as possible, have any irregularity investigated by a senior police officer. In fact, Mr. Danzi, just for clarification purposes, this is not a question put to you, but rather information that was given to you by the magistrate. And Ramasipili said, did the magistrate tell you that you'll be afforded protection against irregularities? Danzi said no. And then Ramasipili said, did the magistrate inform you that any irregularity will be investigated by a senior police officer? Danzi said no. And then Ramasipili asked her, did the magistrate inform you that any irregularities would be investigated by a senior police officer? Danzi said no. Did the magistrate explain what kind of irregularities should be investigated? Danzi said no, she never told me anything. Did the magistrate ask you if there had been any irregularities in your treatment by the police? Danzi said no, she never told me. Ramasipili then asked, did the magistrate specifically ask you about police misconduct in relation to your treatment? Danzi said no, but did you understand that you could tell the magistrate about the assaults that were perpetrated on you? And Danzi said, I would have definitely informed her had she asked me. Now, she never asked me. Remember Danzi's side of the story is that on his way to getting in there and making that confession, here's Mjiako coming, right? He says, your sister called me. And then he walks straight, sits down. He even knew where to sit. He sits down in that room. Is it room 2 at Boxback Magistrate Court? inside
you know
there.
what I'm thinking when they talk about the sister. Mm-hmm. The reason they've been trying to link Danzi to the sister is because they want to clear that part of Mjiako being called.
How are they linking Danzi to the sister?
They've been saying, do you know sisterhood? What was the point of saying, do you know the sisters? On the questions.
The state. Oh, they keep asking about the sisters. And trying to have a link or some kind of establishment to say, but it's pointless if they won't call the sisters to come and confirm that indeed they did call Mjiako, and that by the looks of things is never gonna happen. Yeah, well, so it's a pointless thing for them to try and do. There's this tendency of wanting to connect people but then not call them to come and testify, to rely on mistakes that perhaps will be done by the defense to come and say, oh, because you referenced that statement, it means now we can use that statement without calling the person to come and verify and test and prove the statement. So yeah, weird things have been happening in that court, very weird things. And then now, Ramasipili read him paragraph 1C, and it said, this is not a trial and that I'm not hearing any charge against him, end quote. And he asked him, do you understand this explanation and do you accept it as correct? And the answer recorded there was a yes. And he asked Ntanzi, did you respond to the question with the answer yes? Ntanzi said no. Ramasipili then said, do you wish to comment or have anything to say in this regard? Besides the answer that is given here, where you say, I need to be protected from a group of people I was with.
But you know what, Emil, that I'm thinking about it. I think it is important for Ramasipili to call Ntanzi's sister.
Yes. I agree with you.
Without calling Mjiako, to say, do you guys, just one question, do you know Mjiako? Did you call any lawyer for Ntanzi? And then read them what is written on the thinking by Grenier.
They should to strengthen their case, because the judge will just go on a haywire and say the sister was called. Sisimangala judgment. They are denying that the sister called the lawyer, but he did. Anything is possible, so just cover all ground. Call the sister. Do you know this lawyer by the name of Mjiako? Did you give him financial instructions? Did you give him an instruction to go and assist your brother? That's it. Then it said, did you offer that explanation to the magistrate? Because the magistrate had written, I need to be protected from a group of people I was with this whole thing when it was committed. And Ntanzi said, no, he did not prefer this specific explanation to the magistrate. And Ramasipili said, it further states that you say you were pointed with a finger as a warning. But then Ramasipili said fingerprint, so I don't know. I think he meant finger. Maybe
you were pointed with a finger. Yes, you know why it is like, you see that situation of Danzi being pointed with the finger. Do you see what has been happening consistently? It is consistent with what is currently being said on that statement. The judge has been saying that there are people who are threatened in that court. And then you tell me that judge is not biased, but leave that. Do you see what they are doing?
Even in the confession, the so-called confession, it speaks of pointing of fingers as a warning. And then Grenier now writes it again in the other confession to say you were pointed with a finger as a warning. So this thing, and now there's that thing also in the court where every time defense witnesses come, there has to be tainted with that thing that they are there to intimidate. They're intimidating people.
Or they were intimidated.
Yes. So that creates a certain precedence to say, yeah, but they are dangerous people. Even though there's nothing that holds water currently.
But
Then they say, did you say anything
if the
like
judge
that?
himself is the one saying these things,
Already he's crossed over the line. He's no longer objective. The line has already been crossed. He's already picked a side. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. Well, then, did you say anything like that to the magistrate? And Danzi said no. And Ramasipili then said, there is also a mention that you were a small boy at the time. And Danzi said, yes, I hear it as you are mentioning it to me. Ramasipili then said, did you say to the magistrate that you were a young or small boy at the time that this incident took place? And Danzi said no, he didn't tell the magistrate that. Does the notation within the answer that says, I don't know where else in Gauteng they have been arrested, do you see that? And did you say that to the magistrate? And Danzi said no. And where it says, where else in Gauteng have they been arrested, do you know who this they is that they are referring to? And Danzi said he doesn't know. Also from that answer, it also says, I don't know where else in Gauteng they have been arrested, and I'm focusing in this phrase, where else in Gauteng. Did you have any knowledge of the arrested pertaining to the Senzo Meyiwa case as of pertaining to the 24th of June 2020? And Danzi said no, he had no knowledge of them. And Ramasipili said it further continues to say that from that answer, to say that they were all grown-ups, did you say that to the magistrate? And Danzi said no. And then Ramasipili said, within that sentence, I focus on the word they were all grown-ups. Do you know what it means or what they referred to? And Danzi said no, I don't know. Ramasipili then said, and also it also proceeds to say, I don't trust the police because they can easily be bribed. Did you say that to the magistrate? And Danzi said no. Did you tell the magistrate that you don't trust the police? And Danzi said no, he did not. Did you tell the magistrate that the police can easily be bribed? And Danzi said no, my lord, I never said that. You know, when Ramasipili is doing this, it feels tiring and long and all of that, but it is necessary. It is necessary to break these statements up into different types of questions and get affirmative answers on the record for Danzi's case. So even if we may feel like, oh my God, we are bored and all of that, but for his case, it's important that these questions be broken apart and be made clear on the record.
I think he's following the same strategy that the states use to debunk them.
Yes.
Because it is important to go. If that is how they work, then you might as well follow that.
Might as well follow that.
Put it on record.
Because if you leave something out, they come then and they make up a whole narrative around what you left because you were thinking, oh, for the respect of time or for the ing of time, then their cross-examination ends up taking 2 weeks or 3 weeks because they now want to do this.
Tell that when Busan is banned. Tell that to these analysts that are invited now and then to this mainstream media. They are saying it's pointless, it's useless that the Danzi was arrested in these cases while they were investigating. It's useless that they lied in court, that then said the Danzi was involved in this case. It's useless. It's useless. What matters is Senzo's case to them. How Danzi was acquired, it's useless. According to your so-called analysts that you watch all the time.
I'm thinking very deep stuff, but let me leave them alone. Sometimes I cannot break. But what I can recommend, our people need to start involving themselves in things pertaining to law and legal things. You don't involve yourself by speaking or having an opinion, but rather do your own digging. Read the court documents. Read what some of the laws are saying. Just do it for yourself.
Hey, Carla, thank you very much
It's important now.
Thank you very much for joining membership. Sorry, Emin. Carla, thank you very much for joining membership. We appreciate you. Thank you,
Carla.
Yeah.
So now I think it's more important now more than ever to do the reading yourself, to make time for it. Because now what I'm realizing, Mr. Anonymous, I used to believe everything the media said. I did. And how stupid that was of me. That was very stupid. And I'm never doing it again. If I have not done the reading, I'm not commenting.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can't tell me that as a legal practitioner, you're going to go all the way there and you haven't watched the proceedings. You haven't watched.
And I feel the one that you said about them being given a script, I think it sticks. That's, for me, that's the one that I choose to believe.
The reason why I'm saying this is because there's somebody on TikTok that I follow. They are doing something very controversial. I'm sure a lot of our people know him. It's more on the estate planning side for our community. He's giving warnings and all of that. There was a time he described what had happened when a particular news station wanted to interview him. And he said he could feel no, I'm being set up here. He said they gave him a list of what to say. So he said it's an interview that is supposed to happen live.
Yeah.
But what they did was give him a pre-interview. So he was doing it online virtually, didn't go to the studio. So they were giving him questions that he needed to answer. The way they drafted the questions, should they get the footage of him responding to those questions and then they edit, right? Because they were still going to have time to edit. By the time we see,
it's already been.
And then he timed it and then he said, I'm turning back. I'm not longer doing this interview. I agreed on the basis that you interviewing me live and it's broadcasting now as you're interviewing me live on the TV. This pre-recording thing and the questions and how they are coming, they are not what I expected to be asked. And then he turned the interview down. So you can tell that he was going to be set up to be made to look a certain way. And I understand why they needed to make him look a certain way.
Because it's eye-opening people.
So
they need to make him look cuckoo.
Yeah.
So that they can discredit him. That's how they work.
So he was like,
when they are done with you, there will be no credibility left.
You look like a crazy person. Body.
It's like you're a craziest person.
Pretty much. So when you go and take interviews with these people, please be careful, or rather don't do them at all. You don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do them. Or if you really need the money and whatever, just be cautious because they're
going to butcher you.
Yeah. I remember even another person on Facebook, they wrote a post about their interaction with a particular journalist. I'm not going to mention their name. He says that they had a pre-meeting. They were chilled, amajita, having a chat. He had come down to his level. Do you understand what I'm saying? Talking to him like in a friendly way, like mjita sekasi and all that. And then ati hi umuntu wachinja mama camera nama lights ase on ke manje. What is switch up? What lights, camera, action, go.
After you let your guards down.
Ati he asked him crazy questions live. And he was a totally different person to the person he met prior to shooting. It was like, yeah, it's a dog world. So be careful when you're dealing with these people.
I think I have an idea of the guy. I think I have an idea. He might have a beard and all that.
It felt like a total ambush.
Yeah, I know. I think I know
So
the
that
guy.
meeting where he was chilled and everything, he was siphoning information out of him.
Mm.
And then he used it live when the camera action lights were on. And next thing you know, Umchita is saying crazy stuff. So yes, it does happen.
Yeah, and I also got when we were reviewing the what do we call it, the reality shows. I got a call that wanted me to go to a certain radio station, and it's I think the guy that you're talking about is there on that radio station. And I was like, no.
Yeah, you're not that radio station.
Nah,
Kurave.
like no.
Rave at
Why
that
are you
radio
guys
station.
interested on this cultural
I wouldn't
stuff
take
now?
an interview with the radio station.
Because you always
I wouldn't.
are politicking there. Why do you now want to know about culture? All of a
Since
sudden?
when?
Since when?
Because it's always politics, and they depress you. Their job is to depress you.
The hell out of you, yes.
I used to listen to that radio station. I was a very angry
And when you
person.
listen to that radio station, you think you're well informed. You can't argue with the person who comes on there.
Yeah.
Because they think they have all the information they need about the politics
And
of the stuff.
it makes you have like high BP and stress and all of that. You're always angry. So I now avoid it with every fiber of my being because I'm like, I want to remain stress free as much as I can. I cannot afford to be angry all the time about things, by the way, you really have no control over. Do we have control over Rata's behavior? No. That's why people are like, when I Emily, you're always laughing. What? No, guys, you don't understand. I've been doing this for too long.
Iba high for nothing because
Yes,
you cannot do anything.
You can't control the situation. If umuntu has decided, they have decided. There's nothing you can do to change their minds. If umuntu has decided they don't like you, they don't like you. You're not money. What are you going to do to change their mind?
Nothing.
So you just roll with it. And then Danzi here was asked, the whole answer proffered here, is it true and accurate? And Danzi said, no, it's not true because there is nothing that I said to her because I found her writing, not knowing what is it that she was writing. So uNtanzi uthi yena umfice ebhala uMiss Kronye. Miss Kronye
And
bekaphethe
was also from inside already.
Yes. And then he went to sit because he was from inside already. That's why he went and sat wherever he sat without being told, Meniere, please sit here. So this already paints a picture that Miss Kronye met Mjiako before she even met the person that she was going to take a confession from. And also, she had a brown envelope, according to Danzi, the very same brown envelope that Mohani gave to Rapadu before Rapadu took his confession, or his so-called confession. So, yeah, and she had her Ntanzi's ID and everything. That's how Ntanzi described the whole situation. So, he's saying that there is nothing that he was saying or she was saying to him. She was just writing. So, Ntanzi says she found her writing, and that's what it remained like for the whole time, that period that they were there. And I know that there are some people who are obsessing about the recording. They're like, oh no, let's play the recording. Do you think that recording is going to give you what you want to hear? You want to hear Danzi making a confession. Is that it? There's a group of people who are obsessed about wanting that, to hear that recording, even though it was illegally taken.
I think that
Guys,
recording was edited.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The level of activities that I've seen with this trial, I don't think that recording is something that would have been in favor of Ntanzi. especially considering how the state was insisting on wanting to play it. To me, it was a red flag. It was a big red flag to say, okay, first of all, you were recording and not informing the people that you were recording. And as Miss
And
Grenier,
you are a judge on top of that.
and then she's a judge and
You
she knows
know
the
that
law.
you should do that.
Yes, she knows that before you record a person, you have to inform them that I'm recording you. But she's telling us that she couldn't do that. And then you have to ask yourself, who was she actually afraid of? Was she actually afraid of an accused person, or was she afraid of the entire situation? Which one is it? Do you understand? And she didn't want to be specific of what she feared that made her press the recording. She didn't want to be direct about that. She didn't want to be specific as to what made you press record on your laptop. So for all we know, that recording could have been done things, remixed and everything, just to suit the narrative that the state wanted to suit, which is why perhaps they wanted to hand it in so much. But all in all, she's a magistrate. She knows she shouldn't have done that, and she should have informed an accused person that I am recording you prior to recording them. It's that simple. Had she done that, then the recording would have definitely made it to court without any doubt. So Ramasipili said now he moved to the second paragraph. And he says, who brought you to my office and for what? And the answer was that Mokhane was escorted by Metro police officers, and the further explanation as to a reason why. It says I was brought because I was present when a murder was committed, even though I did not commit it. The police told me to come forward to make a statement, and I also wanted to make a statement, and I'm happy to make one. And then Ramasipili asked him if he gave this answer to the magistrate. Well, Danzi said, no, I never provided such an answer because there were no questions that she was asking me. Then Ramasipili asked, did you say these actual words in essence similar to this answer? And Danzi said, no. Ramasipili said, let's first deal with this part that says I was brought because I was present when a murder was committed. Did you say this to the magistrate? And Danzi said, no. And Ramasipili said, because this pro forma is completed in respect of Foslera's case 3636 of 10 of 2014, were you present when Senzo Meyiwa was murdered? And Danzi said no. Were you present at the address 1351 1 Kutwanong Street, Mzamo section, Foslera's on the 26th of October 2014 at the relevant time Mr. Meyiwa was murdered? And Danzi said no. Ramasipili asked, were you anywhere near or the vicinity of the crime scene? The vicinity of the crime scene on the 26th of October 2014. Danzi said, no, my lord, because I don't even know as to where it is. And then Ramasipili asked, did you personally witness the murder of Mr. Senzo Meyiwa? And Danzi said, no. Ramasipili asked, were you involved in some way in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa? And Danzi said, no. And then he continued to read a paragraph that said, even though I did not do it. And then he asked, at the time you met me, Miss Vivian Grenier, did you have any information about who killed Senzo Meyiwa? Danzi said no. Now he continued to read, the police told me to come forward to make a statement. The police told me to come forward to make a statement. The police told me to come forward to make a statement. Did the police tell him to come forward to make a statement? Did they?
Why would Grenier say that?
It just dawned on me now as I'm reading it. That Haibo. The police told me to come forward to make a statement. Even the police have not testified to that. So where did Grenier get that from? Kwenzagalani. Where did she get that from? Because even the police they never said they approached Danzi to come to make a statement, did they? So we are supposed to say Danzi said this to her.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. He got arrested. This confession was made as if Danzi voluntarily went to the police station and said, I want to make a confession. But
Yes,
that's not what
yes.
happened.
Now, Cronje, in her writing, she says the police said I must come forward and make a statement.
And it's quite perplexing that she would put it like this, even though she can see that this man was brought in chained with EMPD holding rifles. This is very interesting. Well, Ramasipili then asked him, did you say this to the magistrate? Danzi said no, because even when I was taken from the police station, I didn't know where we were going. Ramasipili then said, except for the telephone calls that you say you received from Miss Mohola, did you receive any other phone call from the police that told you to come to court to make a statement? Hey, Ramasipili naye ngendlela ebuza ngayo. I don't think Mohola told him to come to make a statement on that phone call. She even denied making that phone call. Did she not? She denied making that phone call. She said she didn't. She didn't make such a phone call. She denied it. So to her, the phone call doesn't exist. And then Danzi said no. Ramasipilin said, and also, we don't want to repeat this, but it is now common cause that you were arrested on the 16th of June 2020 at your place of residence in Freedom Park Phase 2. And Danzi said yes. Ramasipili said, and did you voluntarily present yourself at the police station to hand yourself over for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa? And Danzi said no. Yes, it didn't happen. Very crucial question, because here, Cronje's statement is creating the impression that Danzi voluntarily made a confession. He went to the police station, and then from the police station, that's how it made it to her as a magistrate that she should take the confession. And usually under those circumstances, guys, here's what normally happens. So if you go to a police station and make a confession, you will be going before a magistrate like a normal court hearing in a court to make that confession. It doesn't usually happen the way that it's happening with Danzi, where a commissioner of oath, and then from a commissioner of oath, deals are discussed, and then after the deals are discussed, you go to the magistrate. It's not really organic. So what was supposed to happen is he was supposed to appear before, if he voluntarily made the confession, then he would appear before a magistrate, and the magistrate would be asking him and giving him all of these rules. You are not coerced to make a confession, blah, 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 and then he would say, no, I want to make the confession. But then it would be happening in a court live session where there's a transcript being taken. Where the court is being recorded, usually. But in this case, no, that it didn't happen that way. So he says in Freedom Park Phase 2, that's where you were arrested, and Danzi said yes. And did you voluntarily present yourself at the police station to hand yourself over for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa? And Danzi said no, And also the question becomes whether he was given the opportunity to do so, to present himself at the police station, because I don't think that's what even happened. And Ramasipili said, and also I wanted to make a statement. Did you say to this magistrate, I also want to make a statement? Danzi said no. Ramasipili said, and this statement, is it true or false? And Danzi said it's not true. Ramasipili asked him, did you want to make a confession to a magistrate on the 24th of June 2020? And Danzi said no. Ramasipili then said, and on the 24th of June 2020, did you have a choice on whether or not you're going to be taken to the magistrate, Miss Cronje? Danzi said no, I didn't know where they were going. I just saw us going there. Then Ramasipili said, I'm happy to make one, referring to the statement. Did you say this to her? And Danzi said no. Were you happy to make a statement on the 24th of June 2020? Danzi said no, because he never made a statement and he was not happy and he didn't do a statement. Even the journey that they took on the 24th, he said he didn't know even where they were going. It was a mystery to him. They just took him out of a cell, and next thing you know, he's landing there in front of room 2, and Giaco is appearing out of nowhere. It was a total ambush, according to him. So Ramasepele then said, in your entire time in custody from the 16th of June until the time you met the magistrate on the 24th of June 2020, were you happy? And Danzi said, no, I wasn't happy because my whereabouts were unknown. Secondly, I was assaulted. Thirdly, I was not even taking a bath. Ramasepele then said, were you happy that you were in custody for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa? And Danzi said, no, I was not happy because I did not kill Senzo. I didn't even know where he died or which place he died. And then Ramasepele said, in summary, the entire answer that is noted for question 8, did you say anything like this to the magistrate? And Danzi said, no. Ramasepele said he was not going to deal with the third paragraph because he dealt with something else. And then he took it out and said also, in the next or following page, paragraph 3 continued. He went to paragraph 4. Just by the way of background, Ramasepele said, it deals with your constitutional rights, and in particular the constitutional right to legal representation. And it says, I informed the deponent that any person who is in custody or has been arrested or any charge has the right to be assisted by a legal representative of his own choice. Did the magistrate warn you of your right to legal representation on the 24th of June 2020? Danzi said no. Ramasepele now said, now, to be assisted by a legal representative of your own choice, did the magistrate mention this to you? Danzi said no. On the 24th of June, did you know that you could refuse to proceed until you had spoken to a lawyer of your own choice? Danzi said, I would have refused because I didn't know what I was going to say. Now, the interpreter interpreted it as, I didn't know why I was there. But what I heard him say is that I didn't know what I was even going to say. Then Ramasepele said, on the 24th of June 2020 was Mr. Mjiako a legal representation of your own choice? Danzi said, I didn't know him. It was when I was about to enter the door that he came out, and that is where I saw him for the very first time. Then Ramasepele asked, is it common cause, even from the evidence of Miss Vivian Cronje, that on the 24th of June, up until present in room 2, was herself, Mr. Mjiako, yourself, and Miss Evelyn Mutlapi? Had you appointed Mr. Mjiako on the 24th of June 2020? Danzi said no, because even he never approached me or came to me so we could talk. The last was when I was about to enter the door and he was coming out. The police officer was opening the door. He was coming out, and then he told me that he was instructed by my family to come and represent me. I requested to see the number that was used to call him. He said he will get back to that later, and he went inside and sat down. I did not hear him say anything to the magistrate. Ramasepele then said, on the 24th of June 2020, did you have a proper lawyer-client relationship with Mr. Mjiako? And Danzi said, I had no relationship. Even when I don't have a relationship, even now, he says, I don't have a relationship with him. Ramasepele then said, if he cannot afford the services of a private lawyer, he's reading now from this statement, if he couldn't afford the services of a private legal representative, he has the right to report to Legal Aid Board for assistance, and that if he qualified, the Legal Aid Board will supply an attorney free of charge. Now, did the magistrate explain this right to assistance by Legal Aid Board of South Africa? And Danzi said no. This alone should be proof enough that his rights were not explained to him.
No, they were not.
This alone should be proof enough that his rights were not explained to him. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lawyer was imposed on him out of nowhere. To this day, the state has not presented evidence that this lawyer was appointed by Danzi. It seems like this lawyer was working for the state.
It does.
Not even legal aid, the state. We are not even going to say legal aid. Legal aid engenanga ndawo la. Because within legal aid, the application is formal. There's a formal application process. There are papers you sign to say, I'm accepting this lawyer from legal aid. They are not even presented in that court by the state. So can you say that someone who shows up as a lawyer of somebody, that person rights were explained to them?
No.
Because had these rights been explained to him, he would have known that Mjiako is not his lawyer. So, Ramasipili then said on the 24th of June, did you personally know what legal aid board is? And Danzi said no, because it was even his first time that he had been arrested. These are the little things that I always say and emphasize, that you know what, as us, as Abantu, we have to familiarize ourselves with these things. We have to read this constitution. We must read it. Yabo. We must open it and read it. We must engage. We must read these things, because things happen, and when they happen, it's an ambush. We don't even know where to go to get information. Things like that. So to avoid such instances, we should read these things. Well, Ramasipili then said on the 24th of June 2020, did you have any knowledge that you could apply for a free lawyer? And Danzi said no. The magistrate's duties is to explain two things to you. Firstly, that you could apply to legal aid. Did the magistrate tell you that you could apply to legal aid? And Danzi said no. The second point that the magistrate is obliged to explain to you is that if you qualify, a free lawyer will be given to you. Did the magistrate explain this second part about you qualifying if you qualify? And Danzi said no. Now, as well, it was very irresponsible for the magistrate to not know or verify the lawyer that was sitting before her. Am I wrong to think this way?
No, you're not.
Because usually in a court of law, when you hear the judge asking the accused whether they agree that this person really, you are taking instructions from them, or they are indeed your lawyer, there's that form of verification process that happens. Also, when a lawyer pops up at a police station, there's some kind of authorization process that happens before they even open their mouth to the police, right? They have to show that indeed they are a lawyer and they are here to represent you. There's a what do they call it, power of attorney that the client must sign and stuff like that. So this whole thing did not happen with Grenier. She didn't care. An imposter comes and says, I'm your lawyer, and Vivian Grenier just accepted. They're like, okay. Okay.
Wow.
It is what it is. If they're saying they are your lawyer, they are your lawyer. They don't even ask you. Where in her statement is she saying, I asked this person whether this is their lawyer, and they said yes, this is their lawyer. She didn't care. She just didn't care about that whole thing. It was none of her business. She was there to write the confession. As Danzi is describing, she was indeed writing a confession. She was writing. Okay. Whether she was getting the information from Danzi himself, we don't know, but she was writing. And I'm inclined to believe that she was indeed writing.
Let's press the like button, guys, please. Press the like button. Beg you. Yes, it was there to write. She just was there to write.
She was writing. There are certain things that should have alarmed her as a magistrate to say, yo, what am I in? And then I pressed the recording. I pressed the recording because I was afraid for my life.
Imagine. And then you write, I was sent here by police to write the statement.
I was afraid for my life. Here's this man before me. He's saying he's a lawyer. He's not even showing me authorization or permission that he did indeed is this person's lawyer. No, there's no such. He's not giving those vibes. Ramasipili then said he's entitled to seek legal advice before making any statements to me. Did the magistrate explain that to you? Danzi said no. Before you appeared before the magistrate on the 24th of June, how much time did you have with Mjiako to consult? Danzi said, I never had a consultation or a discussion with Mjiako at the police station. I met this person for the first time in Boxback. When I was about to enter the door, he was coming out, and then he told me that he was sent by my family to come and represent me. Danzi then said, yes, but the question that I'm asking there at Boxback Magistrate Court on the 24th of June 2020, did you have proper, thorough consultation with Mr. Mjiako? And Danzi said no. Ramasipili asked him, did Mr. Mjiako explain your rights relating to the making of the statement to a justice of the peace? Then Danzi said no. Then Ramasipili said, did Mr. Mjiako explain the consequences of making a statement, especially a confession to a justice of the peace? Danzi said, no, he has never told me. Ramasipili then said, did Mr. Mjiako explain to you that you have the right to refuse to make a statement to the magistrate? Danzi said, no, he never told me that. Then Ramasipili said, on the 24th, did the magistrate ask you whether you wanted time to consult with a lawyer before the process began? Danzi said, no, they never told me. Ramasipili referred Danzi to the transcripts of the 23rd of October 2023 where Ms. Cronje was cross-examined by Mr. Mgomezulu. In response to the question whether she afforded you time to consult with a lawyer before the process of taking a statement began, the magistrate said, I do not proceed. I do not go ahead with the taking of the statement, whether it's a confession or a statement, without confirming or making sure that both parties had properly consulted. That is now the person, the deponent, as well as the lawyer. But here you were unable to verify whether this man is this person's lawyer or not, and what form of verification you received to make sure that indeed he did consult with his so-called client before you took the confession. A whole magistrate. Sure. Mabathi sisekakeni.
Sisenjeni.
Hey, guys, South Africa sisenjeni, sisekakeni. And we are supposed to take these things as normal.
Yes.
We're supposed to take these things as things that are supposed to happen.
Yes.
As things that are normal. They are process. They are normalizing it. They are trying to see whether broad South Africans are going to accept this.
Yeah, they're trying to say, or they're just doing it.
Well, Danzi said, but I never sat down with him. And Ramasipili then asked, did you tell the magistrate that you understand the right explained or contained in paragraph 4A, B, and C? Danzi said no. Then he read the passage where it said, beneath, I understand there is a further question. Do you have a legal representative, or do you wish to apply to the Legal Aid Board for assistance? And if so, do you wish to consult with him before making a statement to me? And the response provided there was, Mr. Mjiako is my attorney. Did the magistrate at the time ask you whether or not you had a legal representative to assist you? Danzi said, no, I was never asked that question. Even the lawyer, I never saw him talking to that white lady. And then Ramasipili said, in the presence of the magistrate, did you from your own mouth pronounce to the magistrate that this person sitting here, Mr. Mjiako, is my attorney? Danzi said no. And then Ramasipili said, and did the magistrate ask you for the relationship between yourself and the gentleman dressed neatly in a suit? Who in that room? That is Mr. Mjiako. And then Danzi said, no, I was never asked. Ramasipili then said, and did the magistrate ask you whether or not you wanted to consult a legal representative before making a statement to her? Danzi said, no, she never asked me. Was Mr. Mjiako present in that room at your request? Danzi said, no, I've never asked him. Ramasipili then said, and if we look at the question that says, do you have the legal representation or legal representative? Did the magistrate ask you this question? Danzi said, no. Then, is there an answer to a question, did you have a legal representative? Danzi said, I don't see it. Ramasipili then said, and regarding the second question that says, do you wish to apply to the Legal Aid Board for assistance? Did you see that? Is there a response to this question, whether or not you wanted to approach the Legal Aid Board for assistance in that form? Danzi said, I don't see it. Do you wish to consult a lawyer before making any statement? Is there an answer to that question? Danzi said, no, I was never asked and there is no response. Ramasipili then said, the only response to the third question, do you have a legal representative? Do you wish to apply to the Legal Aid Board for assistance? Do you wish to consult with him before making any statements to me? The only answer that is recorded there is Mr. Mjiako is my attorney. Is that correct? Ramasipili then said, I questioned the deponent that he's under no obligation whatsoever to make a statement and that if he chooses to do so, it will be in writing as he speaks and maybe later be used against him as evidence in court. The deponent is asked if he understands this explanation, and the answer that he provides is in the affirmative in the form of a yes. Was this question as a whole asked to you by the magistrate, and did you respond with a yes? Danzi said, no, I was never asked this question. Ramasipili then said, pertaining to the first portion of the question, on the 24th of June 2020, did the magistrate tell you that you could refuse to make a statement? Danzi said, no, she never told me that. In truth, so that Mr. Danzi, we don't duplicate this answer, as I summarized the answer and the question, because paragraph 5 and 6, they deal with the right to silence, but in different formats. Now, on the 24th of June 2020, did the magistrate explain the right to remain silent to you? Danzi said, no, I don't remember her telling me. Ramasipili then said, did the magistrate tell you that you could make a statement if you wish to? You may not mention the incriminating parts in that statement. Did she tell you that? Danzi said, no, she never told me. Did the magistrate tell you that if you make a statement, then it will later be used as evidence against you in a court of law? Danzi said, no. Ramasipili then said, and did the magistrate tell you that whatever you say during your interaction with her, that it will be noted down in writing? Danzi said, no, she never told me. Ramasipili then said, do you still wish to make a statement notwithstanding the fact that it may be used against you? And the answer that she recorded there was the affirmative, a yes. Did the magistrate warn you that despite her not having warned you, if you choose to make a statement, it will be used as evidence against you? Danzi said, she never asked me. And did you respond by saying yes? And Danzi said, no. Ramasipili now went to paragraph 6. It said, I informed the deponent that he has the right to remain silent and that nobody can force him to make any statement, and that if he chooses to make a statement, nobody can force him to divulge any self-incriminating information. You know, this information would have been really worthwhile and handy coming from a magistrate in the condition that Danzi was in. It would have been useful information had it been read to him.
Yeah.
But I doubt it was. I highly doubt it was. It doesn't look like it was.
No.
Did the magistrate warn you that nobody can force you to make a statement? Danzi said, no, she never told me. Ramasipili then said, did she also warn you that if you choose to make a statement, nobody can force you to divulge any incriminating information, any self-incriminating information? And the answer to this question is that you understand the warnings that the magistrate had given you. Did you say so? And Danzi said, no, I never said that, and she never asked me. Ramasipili then said, there is a further question that says, do you wish to remain silent or do you wish to continue to make a statement? The response recorded there is that I want to continue to make a statement. Did you tell the magistrate that you wanted to continue to make a statement? Danzi said no. Ramasipili then said, I've asked you this before in the context of this question that says, do you wish to continue to remain silent or do you wish to continue to make a statement? Did you understand that at any stage in that room you could stop the process, not talk to the magistrate, ask the police to take you back where you come from, and where it says, I wish to continue to make a statement on the 24th of June 2020, was it your desire to make a confession? Danzi said, no, it was not my desire. I did not even know as to where we were going. I just saw the place when we entered it. Danzi then said, Ramasipili said, is it correct, Mr. Danzi, that from your testimony here in court, that from the 16th of June 2020 up to the 24th of June 2020, you had always maintained your innocence, that you know nothing about Senzo Meyiwa's killing, and that you know nothing about Senzo Meyiwa's death? Danzi said, yes, up to now, I don't know anything. Ramasipili then said, from the 16th of June 2020 to the 24th of June 2020, had you always wanted to confess about the knowledge that you had about Senzo Meyiwa's killing or your own involvement in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa? Baloyi objected at this point and he said, we let the first question slide, but there's evidence of Brigadier Gininda about what took place at Carltonville when he had a private discussion.
There's evidence of a demigod who does not lie. So everyone must be humble.
You know, it's very disturbing to see someone who's been a legal professional for God knows how many years not understand that in a court of law,
two versions are allowed.
Like, it's baffling to me. Like, I don't
confining
understand
one person who's also telling his version to your version with the Ginindas, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I was very stunned by this objection, honestly speaking.
What the court says.
Hi, ingithusile le objection ngathi hayi prosecutor nguwe lo. You want to put your witness's opinion as a fact and the only truth inside the court. The audacity is too much. It is too much. I don't want to lie. And then he says that, I don't know if that preposition is correct, that the accused has always maintained that he's innocent of the death of Mr. Senzo Meyiwa. He's been persistent. He has been. I know you want to pin him to those confessions, but he's denying them. What are you going to do about it? He says he didn't take them. So you can't use those confessions and say he hasn't always maintained that he didn't know anything about Senzo's death. Well, as it stands now in that court, he has, because even those confessions is denying them. So that's his version. Then he said, we submit that does not accord with the evidence that is on record. What evidence?
The truth.
Which is Gininda's statements.
Gininda's
defense.
Everything said by them is the truth. It's a gospel truth.
Well, the judge said that he's entitled to say it if he wants to. It's not about entitlement. It's about whether he wants to testify to that effect. He's got a right to do that. You may have other ideas about that. Well, yeah, this surprised me as well. It's like judge came to his senses for 2 seconds.
He didn't say, yes, I know, there is evidence. I know. Right? There is evidence.
Please
read it.
That looked like a sober judge for 2 seconds. Even I was shocked. I was like, okay, it looks like mhlambe ngondo ngathi yabuya.
Aibo.
Okay, I withdraw. I take that back. I withdraw. I withdraw. Well, then Ramasipili then says, since your arrest on the 16th of June 2020 to the time that you met the magistrate on the 24th of October, you have always maintained your innocence, that you have no knowledge about the death of Senzo Meyiwa and you were not involved in his killing, correct? And Danzi said yes. Well, Ramasipili then said, now the question I'm asking is from the 16th of June 2020 to the 24th of June 2020. If you always wanted to make a confession, Danzi said no. Then Baloyi said to the judge before they adjourned that he would like to have a short discussion with the court in the chambers. And the judge said, okay, fine. And after the short adjournment where they came back, the judge said that Mr. Jonas, who is heading the interpretation section of the High Court in Pretoria, will attend an occasion that is endorsed by the Office of the Chief Justice. And that staff under Mr. Jonas will have to attend. So it's an official outing, and it will be awkward for this court to refuse Mr. Jonas, who is supposed to be heading this very section, be absent himself. So he's told everybody that they shall endorse any document which is required either by the legal aid or any other person, and that it will be treated as a full day regarding payment. So court adjourned, and it will be resuming today, Monday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for bearing with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. I'm sorry about that. We appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for pressing the like button. Those who have been doing that. Those who have forgotten, please press the like button. Please. I mean, this interaction used to be so motivating. Please press the like button, guys. Just help us, help you, help each other. This channel relies on you guys. As long as you press the like button, we're good to go. From my side, there's nothing else other than that. Probably this is an opportune time for me to head home and try to read a bit on whatever that I might be reading. See if it can take me an hour or so to do that, so that I can say there's something I did this weekend. It's no longer this weekend.
It's over.
It's over.
Monday.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, guys. Appreciate you. Press the like button, guys. Let's really push it to 300. It's 308 of you here. My daughter. I listen. Ntobeko Ngazonke, our member. Thank you. This judge listens. He's laughing. Since we're 18, thank you. Danzi, we saw you. Mamzita, our member, thank you. Mamfunega, Mami, F, in this case, thank you. Osep, Zonzi, thank you. Gasbone, Busan Sibanda, our member, thank you very much. Victor, Matsunyane, thank you. Siyanibonga nje nonke. King George, press the like button. Thank you very much. Let's reach that 200, guys. Press the like button if you've forgotten. Muzi mabena, because manje kuhlangene hey wakwasilaya ulokhuzana. Komo 1010, thank you. Dia Tulani, thank you. Siyabonga Tulani. I'm not gonna read. Hey, angifuni ukubiza amagama abantu. Ngishilo impela ngathi hayi ngeke. Khala membership, new membership, thank you. Kosinathi Zagwe membership, thank you. Musawenkosi Musankosinati, yeah, Musankosinati, it's combined. Kunjalo nje kunzima wafowethu ufunda ubani ke lo Ngombe, ngicabanga ukuthi sibongo leso. Thank you very much, we appreciate you. Tembelani Kanye, thank you. Magalela, thank you. Khomotso Nisi. Thank you. Also, hey, Mr. Ano, I wish to see your face. Hey. Hawu. Kwenzakalani? Hayi do. Hayi, Khomotso. Right kanje. Right kanje. Yilanga.
Maybe when the trial finishes.
News for sure. News for sure. Guess right. Elton. Yes. Right. Maletsana. Nkala. Thank you. Archie, good evening. Zinhle Ziba. Hey, Zinhle. Hello. Did your worst. I refreshed my laptop 3 times thinking the problem is with it on Friday. And none. Nah, they adjourned. Oh yeah, they adjourned. The court did adjourn.
The court, yes.
Lebohang Lebohang Khotsi. Angas kodwa nje kulapho member. Good evening, Mr. Anon Lebohang. Phumzile Shabalala. Hi family, hi Phumzile. Kapsile Siyaya. Hi Kapsile. Fifi Moyo. Hi Fifi Moyo. Ujabu Juice. Ay kulula ukufunda ngoba uhlonse nga hi fin. Thank you Jab. Hey family. Hey Jabu Juice. Angithi vele ke manje abasasinikeza ibase. Whoever was doing this coding, he messed it up, man. I don't know what he was doing. I don't even, people make mistakes, they make it look normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. I think whoever was supposed to code the comment section part of the YouTube, he just decided to say if there is a space, ignore it. Or he didn't put that command that is supposed to recognize the space between the names. And now it's just one thing. Tobeko nxa zonke into eyodwa. Udido west into eyodwa. Sesibona ngama capital letter if you have capital letters. This is where the surname start. Backyard mechanic. Thank you. No beef, Barry. You are meeting refs at the hotels in Durban. Hey, nako cool. Hi. Ayo backyard mechanic. Niyakuthanda ukukhuluma njalo nina. Niyakuthanda ukukhuluma. Yiphi nje ifoul eyenzekile lapha mhlawumbe sanikwe penalty. Ngoba urile jika abantu bewa beze beginqika abantu phansi eshayiko uref lo. Bafethu niyakuthanda ukukhuluma njalo backyard mechanic. Yabona nisukela ngampela sibiho ncanana yazi bafethu sinebhadi thina. Inosentsha Hadebe, thank you. Hi bafethu Mlambo Designs, thank you. Umartha Ndebele, thank you. Petros Nhlapho, thank you. Simoni, thank you. Following from Zambia. Missed you guys a couple of days. Man, we appreciate you that you are back. Patrick, and to be saying, Patrick to be Sheng. Thank you. Hi, good family. Backyard mechanic. Mpume Ulu. Hi, Mpume Ulu. Yeah, injalo indaba njomane 88 Lawrence Buthelezi ngelelo Sheng. Siyabonga kakhulu. Niyasukela. Maybe a lot of people misled by Baloyi and okay. Umkhonto Ncube with a very good morning, Mr. Ano. Morning Ncube. Ubanlo Ujos Bila. Thank you so much for keeping us updated. Siyabonga. Ubani Umashia Maruf. Go and read, Mr. Ano. Don't be like professor and forensic investigator without qualification. Yay! Hey, Nyakudlana. Nanjelop.
By the way, I wanted to share something. With you guys. There's a man from Ireland who's saying that he don't know who Paul is. He has just gone viral today. This is what he said. Dear South Africans, the account is Dave Jones. He's from Ireland. He says, "Dear South Africans, Paulo Sullivan, none of us have ever heard of him in Ireland, yet alone knew he was born in Dublin. A Dublin accent, you don't just lose it overnight." Also noting about him in our media. There's nothing about him in our media. So, this is interesting. He said no Irish person would want or even dream of wanting to learn that language, because someone was asking them that he said that he had come to South Africa to learn Afrikaans.
Hey, wafethu. Sisenjeni.
Yeah.
Let's press the like button, guys. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, guys. Press the like button, subscribe, press the like button, join the membership, press the like button. Hey. Yeah,
and he said, we literally never heard of him ever. It's unusual, to be honest, because we are a small country. Anyone that does well outside of it is generally in the news. This guy, honestly, none of us ever heard of and are surprised with his allegations. It's not even in our media. Kuthiwa island abakhulumi ngisho nokukhuluma ngayo.
It's a well-kept secret, man. It's a well-kept secret. Known to other countries. Very interested in the law and order of other countries that he visits. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. One more time, press the like button, like the video. Hey.
There was a once upon a time we took him serious.
We did, fortunately, where everyone was just a criminal. We did. Right. Siyabonga sivala ngobani sivala ngoLinda Ndube. Siyama lapho. Thank you very much. Bye guys.
Bye guys. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It'll probably be tomorrow.